I'm out here in North Carolina, so I hear a lot about the Moon Eye people legends. There's apparently this like albino, like mysterious ancient race of people that live in the mountains. They live underground. Who knows? It's folklore, but it's interesting. So I like to read into that. And this is like our Cherokee eastern part of the world, part of the country, legends, but it's similar to things out west, like the ant people. And then I came across this, and I don't know how credible this is. It's like the source, the Anthropological Institute from 1876. So it's basically saying in Tennessee, back in the 1800s. This guy was plowing his farm, and he came up on like a skull and some other bones. So they started digging. They dug, and they found 6 acres of graveyard. There was apparently all of these skeletons that were buried in a sitting or standing position. They were all very small, like they're only about 3 feet high. It's like this little dwarf tribe. And according to this, there was somewhere between 75,000 and 100,000 of these skeletons that were found. Uh, People, oh, it was probably like 100 years ago. But according to this guy's account, as soon as they tried to take the bones out, they crumbled. So, they're just saying like, well, maybe because of how poorly preserved they were, maybe they were thousands of years old, not hundreds. Obviously, that's speculation. That's not a very scientific answer there, but it was super cool. So I was like, all right, well, is there any credibility to this? And I find like the New York Times article that gets into this story, and it's hard to say. I don't know the context of how serious this article was. Yes, it was published in the New York Times and all. Um, but it's really, and they're talking about giants here. Like the giants are talking about, I think, are mastodons. When people found these giant bones back in the day, they assumed they were human. Later on, found out that no, it's not a giant human femur. It's a mastodon bone. But they do talk about these like the pygmy little people in here too. So super interesting. And I mean, like this article gets way off into the deep end. The mound builders have been subject to scores of learned essays in which their identity with the Aztecs, the Chinese, the Egyptians, the Welsh, the lost tribes of Israel, that's like they're really, really going off there. But it's just one of those things that just kind of gets lost to time. Like these are the only snippets we have. Unless I get more info, this is just one of those unproven gray areas, right? And that just fuels the folklore even more.